I've been keeping it on my phone. So it's just been me waking up and writing down my dreams. Something that I've been interested in, like, as a kid is lucid dreaming, and I've never accomplished it, but they say one of the steps to facilitate it is writing down your dreams and finding patterns in your dreams so that when you're dreaming, you know it's a dream and not real life. And that click when you're like, that's a dream, I'm in a dream, allows you to control your dream and take control of your dream and do anything you want in it. I have not accomplished that. The only thing that I've come close to really is I'll start having a bad dream, like a scary dream, like something scary, like something weird and scary will be happening, and then I'll just tell myself, this is a dream, and then just more or less wake up from it, rather than, like, have a scary dream. Like, I have not had a scary dream. Probably, yeah, since I can remember since I was a kid, like, I didn't really have that many scary dreams, because usually if something, like, started being scary, I would just, like, wake myself up and be like, okay, I'm done with that. But, especially at the beginning of the pandemic, I was definitely dreaming more and remembering my dreams more. And I still keep this little journal. It's just a note app. It's just a note on the notes app of my phone, with the first dream being from 4/28/2020. Like, I don't even remember these dreams. I should read. There's a lot of them now, I feel like. But I wouldn't actually remember them. But then I hadn't had dreams that I was remembering, like, memorable dreams super consistently. But I thought it would be fun to tell you about my dream. And I'm taking this inspo from, if you know this ASMR artist, PJ Dreams. I'm not sure if he started his channel with talking about his dreams, or if that's just something that he included within his content. So just pure whisper ramble, pure whisper, I can't say it, pure whisper ramble as I talk about my dream. And I feel like I've been having more, because another thing I had read in my research about lucid dreaming is that you're most likely to remember, or it's not that you're most likely to remember, but your REM, so rapid eye movement, where the part of sleep where dreams occur, the REM length as the night goes on gets longer and longer. I'm not sure if your sleep cycle as a whole gets longer and longer, but your REM, time in REM, gets longer the later it is in your sleep. So, something that they said that I had read was like, and it actually said, like, drink water before going to bed, because it'll force you to, like, wake up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Like, hopefully it's, like, further along in the night. And so that triggers you to remember better your REM if, like, you stay sleepy while you go to the bathroom, you know. I just, like, walked down and, like, went to the bathroom. And I tried to stay very sleepy, and then I didn't even, like, listen to ASMR when I went back to sleep. I was so tired, I just, like, fell back asleep. The reason why I have been doing that lately, and this is not sponsored at all, but I work in advertising, and one of the brands that wanted to advertise in a podcast. I do podcast advertising, and they were like, "Oh, we want to send the product to the host so they can, when they read the ad read in the podcast, the host can be like, oh, and I tried this product and I think X, Y, and Z about it. Like, it's called personal experience." Anyway, they sent me some of the product too, and it's just like this morning. I'm not even gonna say what the brand is, but it's like a morning, like, it's not a protein supplement, but it's like a vitamin supplement, and they say that you should drink it first thing in the morning, and it tastes like really bad, and so like I feel like it makes me drink more water during the day, not during the day, but like it's like you have to drink 24 ounces of water, like the first thing you do when you wake up, and you have to drink it like 30 minutes before you can drink coffee. So I feel like I've been drinking more water, which is good, and I feel like that's been making me wake up in the middle of the night to pee. And I've been doing that the last few nights, but I've been remembering my dreams much more because that's like the longest amount of REM at the very end, and I feel like, and this is what they've said, like if you wake yourself up before your last REM cycle of the night, then you're more likely, one, to remember your dreams, and then two, like that's the longest REM period, so like you have more time in your dream to lucid dream, which I haven't done yet, but I'm like, honestly, maybe this will help talking about my dream. Another thing, and maybe I'll pull up a how to lucid dream article or something, but another thing that I had read, and so like, don't quote me on any of these, it's just like stuff that I've read throughout the years, is that you're supposed to, what is it? It's like you're supposed to have like a little thing that you do throughout the day to remind yourself that this is not a dream, and it becomes a habit that you're like doing it all the time during the day, like touching the roof of your mouth with your tongue, like touching the roof of your mouth with your tongue, like you feel the roof, or like touching your teeth with your tongue, like you feel your teeth there. But it should become such a habit for you during the day that when you do it in your dream, because it's such a habit, like you just do it in your dream, and then like you won't feel it, because like it's not, you're dreaming, like you're not gonna feel your teeth in your dream. But I haven't successfully done that either, so, and sometimes I feel like I feel things in my dream. Anyway, but I haven't successfully lucid dreamed yet. If anybody who's listening to this has, drop some tips in the comments, because I've only been trying to do it literally since, like, probably over 10 years. I've always really been interested in sleep, and sleep, and sleep, and sleep, and sleep. If you enjoy listening to my fact videos where I go off on rambles about my own opinions and my own thoughts on sleep myths, I'll definitely be talking a lot. Not a lot of reading the myths, but talking about what I think about sleep, just because, like in high school, I tried biphasic sleep. I've always been trying to lucid dream. I'm just like very interested in sleep. But anyway. I mean, this is just one big whisper ramble, but if you're interested in hearing about my dream, I guess I will start now and tell you a little bit about the dream that I had last night. So it started off, I was at my house, but as everybody knows, your house is not your house in a dream. It's just, it's like, it's your house, but it doesn't look anything like your house. But anyway, was at my house, my childhood house, with my parents there. And it was like a huge mansion. It had a big, like, backyard and greens area. It had a basement that had a bar. And everything was, like, dark wood. But I remember it was, like, my house. And so I was working from home. And I was on my laptop, like the same work laptop I have now. I was working from home in the basement of my house that was also a bar. And my dad comes down and he's like, we're starting construction down here. And I was on the phone with my client. And I was like, oh, sorry, can I call you back? I have to move rooms. I'm working from home. And then I remember I unplugged my computer and I was looking for a place to do work from. This sounds like a really boring dream. It was actually one of the weirdest dreams I've had recently, so that's why I was like, oh, let me record this morning, because I just had this dream that was weird. But now that I'm like saying what it was out loud, like half reading from what I wrote down and half like just remembering it, I'm like, this dream is boring, it's about work. But this is supposed to make you fall asleep anyway, so I guess it's okay, it's boring. But anyway, I was needed to find a new place to work to take the call on my computer. And I went to the backyard, and there was like such elaborate like backyard setup. There was like a gazebo. This was like nothing like my house growing up, but this was my house in my dream. And I was like, maybe I can work from here, and I can like hear my computer was closed, or I was like holding my computer and it was ringing, like my client was calling me back, but I didn't pick up because I was still looking for a place to like sit down and work, and they were like calling me, and I was like, stop, whatever. And I couldn't find a room that they weren't doing construction in, or like outside was like loud, and they were like, because people were landscaping. And then my computer died, and I was like, okay, I need to go get my charger, let me go back. And I guess like hours passed, like I don't know, maybe when I had gotten kicked out of the room I was in to begin with, it was late in the day. But it was like, I go back to the basement to get my charger, and my charger is like all wrapped up in the bar, and nobody's doing construction down here. So that was weird. I was like, I need to plug my computer in. But there were literally patrons at the bar, and a bartender. Like, this was just at my house. And then I plugged my computer in, and like the charger could barely reach because it was like stuck on something like high up at the bar. So it's like my charger like didn't have any give. Like I couldn't plug it in and sit comfortably. So then I was just like, screw it, I'm done working for the day. Like, people are already at this bar, clearly, like, it's the end of the day. And like, these people are at the bar were like, yeah, like, stop, yay, like, you stopped working, like, you should stop working. And I was like, okay, but like, my client was trying to call me. That was so weird. But since I'd stopped working, I was like, I don't need to be here at this bar. And so I walk out and like walk upstairs from the downstairs bar, and like I could see from my front door there's like a huge group of people like waiting to get into the bar, and I was so confused. And I walk out, and literally one of the people there was my client. And I see him, and I'm like, oh I'm so sorry I didn't call you back. Like, I was like, the bar was starting to get packed and I was looking for another place to work. And like, I don't remember if he even said anything. Like, in real life, he's a really nice guy, so I don't think he would have been like, fuck you, you know, like, why aren't you working? Like, something like that. Like, he's really nice, so. But I was so weird that he was there. Okay, and then my dream, like, transitioned to a part 2 of my dream, I feel like. That, like, is not connected to that first part at all. But then I saw some girls outside, and they were going to Long Island. And I was like, oh, I need to go to Long Island, too. And these were, like, people that I didn't even recognize. I know they say in your dreams, like, you can't create faces. So, like, every person in your dream is somebody you've seen before. But these people, like, weren't, like, my friends. Or, like, people I knew from high school. Or, like, people I knew from work. Like, these are just, like, random girls, it felt like. Also, side note, like, I rarely dream about, like, people currently that are in my life, like, my current friends and stuff like that. Like, I will literally have dreams, and the main character will be somebody I have not seen in, like, over 5 years, and not thought about or talked to in over 5 years, and they'll just, like, appear in my dream and have a huge role in my dream, and it's so weird. And then I always wake up and I'm, like, thinking about them, and I'm like, this is so weird, because they were just, like, a face in my dream, but I was like, oh yeah, this is the specific person, and they played, like, a big role in my dream, and I'll, like, be like, oh, I wonder what they're up to now, but that's just so weird, because, like, I never dream about, like, people I see regularly. It's just so weird. It's like, is my psyche trying to tell me something? Or is it just my mind needs to put a face on a person in my dream, and they just, like, choose somebody, like, super random? But it's always, like, people from high school that I literally haven't thought about, let alone, like, talk to or whatever in, like, honestly, 10 years. So back to my dream. So there were these girls that I didn't recognize, and they were like, we're taking this car to Long Island. And I was like, okay, I needed to go to Long Island. Like, which is so random, because I've actually never been to Long Island. Unless you consider Queens, like, a part of Long Island, and, like, LaGuardia and JFK a part of Long Island. Like, I've never been to Long Island. I've never been to the Hamptons. So I was like, this is random, but I needed to go to Long Island. And so I'm in the car with them, and I was like, I need to go all the way down to there. And they were like, okay, well, we're actually gonna stop here. We don't need to go further than this. And I was like, okay. I was like, and then they were like, we can leave you at this, we're gonna stop at this restaurant. And then, like, you can just find a ride to the place that you need to get from this restaurant. And I was like, okay. But then we stop at this restaurant, and I'm, like, thinking, I'm just like, how am I gonna get to the place that I need to go? Further down, in Long Island. And I call, like, and this is one of those things I was talking about, where it's like random people will show up in my dream. I was like, I'll call this girl that I know that has been to this place before. And the place I was going to was, like, somebody who was, like, pseudo-famous. I'm not sure. But he was, like, kind of famous. And I needed to get his number to make sure I get to his house. Why I need to go to his house is, like, I have no clue. But I was like, oh, this random girl I knew from college will have his number. So anyway, I call her, and I'm like, hey, can I have this guy's number? Like, I'm, like, in Long Island, but, like, I'm not at his house yet. And I need to get there. Like, can you just give me his I don't know, but like, I was just like, I need to go to your house. And I don't remember if he said anything or not, but the friend that I had called from college, she was like, okay, so what you're gonna need to do is, call a pizza for delivery to his house. Like, order a pizza for delivery to his house, and then get the pizza guy to drive you there. And I feel like this would have made more sense if we were at a pizza restaurant, but we were definitely at like a more fancy, formal restaurant than just pizza. And I was like, okay. And she was like, oh, and you can use this coupon to get the pizza. And I was like, okay. And so I called, and they actually showed up at the restaurant, like, instantaneously. And then, like, it was so weird, because, like, nothing about this dream was, like, a continuous narrative, because then I was like, okay, thank you for driving me to this person's house, but I need to pack all my stuff and put it in your car. I had no memory of, like, packing up stuff from the mansion, you know, that was my house, to get to this place. But the last thing I really remember from the dream is putting clothes and like random stuff that was just on the ground at this restaurant into like plastic drawers and bringing them to this guy's car, the delivery guy. So that didn't really make any sense, but that was my dream last night. It was really weird, and it's fun remembering more of your dreams, but then sometimes you have dreams and you're like, what does that mean? Super random. And then what I was saying, like, people will appear in my dreams, become main characters, and I'll be like, am I supposed to like is my mind telling me something, or is it just that like my brain needed a random face and this person just like was there? I don't know, but it's so weird, because then I'll like wake up and think about them and I'm just like, wait a second, why were you in my dream? But anyway, I hope that was relaxing. I hope that relaxing, entertaining. I hope if you are trying to fall asleep, maybe this will encourage some interesting dreams. I don't know. Anyway. To you. I will say